is Margaret. I am your broadcast engineer for today. I am here with Nick Hunter, who is the fantastic UI UX designer, the best, frankly, in the business. He really knows his stuff, and we're very lucky to have him here for an advanced UI UX course, which will be ongoing for quite a while. Real quick, let's talk about the live stream training schedule. We've got Thursday and today, which will be last of the complex layout stuff. We got Friday and Monday doing the Monkey Bread plugin. Monday is going to be JavaScript. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are going to be card style Windows stuff. So that'll be really interesting with UI and UX. If you'd like to support the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. Feel free to do the FM Training annual subscription bundle. It'll be 100+ hours, really high energy video training content. Basically, Nick, Richard, Jacob, Calvin, any people you recognize from stream are there. They talk a lot about the FileMaker platform, basically how you can go from knowing nothing about it being FileMaker developer to being an intermediate FileMaker developer pretty easily, being able to create and deliver on your own projects. It'll be great. If you've already bought it, we greatly appreciate it. Seriously, thank you very much. If you have not, please consider it. It helps keep the lights on. It helps keep everything running. With that being said, Nick, what are we doing today?
Okay, thank you, Marge. Thank you for the introduction. And today we are doing the last day of the complex layouts, right? So the last 2 days, I explained to you how to organize with the columns, how to put things together, and dealing with complex layout is the art of putting things together, right? So, and so the problem we have when we have a lot of things that is we don't know what to do with all those things. Okay, so and most of the time we don't know what to eliminate, and we have so many things that we can eliminate, but we don't think about it. We don't think about eliminating labels or eliminating things that doesn't need to be there, right? Also, I demonstrate, and I'm going to continue today to demonstrate how the thing looks makes all the difference. Okay, so it makes a lot of difference when you have something that looks familiar, something that you catch your eyes, or something like it's comfortable to read. You need to be comfortable to read, comfortable to understand. And sometimes when you put things together, things becomes more understanding. Okay, so understandable, right? More understandable. I mean, if you put everything what belongs together, right? It will make more sense for the user, and then they won't have to be able to. They won't have to read things, right? I have a great example of our own internal layouts, right? I cannot show you the layouts, but it's when we say we are the least equipped at RCC, not because we don't know what we do, but it's because we don't have the time to put together and to run things, right? Because it's making things great takes time and money. So this is beauty costs money. It's that's. But we have an example. So this example of this layout we have always. Because I'm not going there often. I'm going there once in a while, right? And then all the time I'm lost, and I need to call somebody to tell me where to click. Okay, so but the person that used that layout knows that layout like her house. So that's why we don't fix it, because the person that used the layout knows it, right? But when you have many layouts and when you have solutions, right? You don't want the layout to belong to one person in your company. You want that anybody that goes there like do-it-yourself stuff, okay? And you don't want to lose people. You want to get your user lost because you have a layout that is so complicated, right? And at one point it doesn't make any sense for nothing because it start to be great, and then you add you start to pile up stuff, and the layout is big like this, right? And it's like everything, you can do everything, right? So the complexity in the layout, to remove it, there's only one way, right? Is to put together things that belong together. So I want to show you something here. So today we're going to see that how we can make the thing looking great with widgets and stuff like that, and we are going to look a little bit on the portals, okay, on the portal side. So let's start with the example of yesterday of the invoice. So the invoice layout here, we have a lot of things, right? But remember, I show you this here, the widget. We call that widgets. Data widgets, block of things that do, like the address, okay. But that widget here. So here we have a date, right? So it looks like a date. It looks like a date. It doesn't look like, it's not the dates like, with the text like this, right? So this is the text. So this is the date. Let's put here date invoice. Okay. So that is the date, the normal date. I don't know where to put it. Okay, let's put here. So that's the date we know in FileMaker. Okay, that's the date. So so here we can change the date, right? Like this, right? So you understand that this looks like a date, and you give people the sense of comfort because it's clear to read, right? And it looks familiar. This hard to read, right? This is not good to read. This is good. This is good to read. This is good in the list view, right? In the list view or in a portal, right? That's a good that good. And even though sometimes I'm not using this, but when you are in one record only, unique record. Here I'm looking at one unique record, right? So I'm not in the list view, so I can use that. Okay. So just to show you how to do this, it's very simple. So first of all, we have our first field here. This is the field, right? This is the field. So here we have a field. So I changed this because I have a button and a field, but I don't want to show you the button right now. So I have a field, right? Which is the one I'm using to edit. So this is the one, when you click, right? It's a drop-down calendar, right? And I put all the text away, so you will never see text there. You will never see text. You put the text all away by putting 200 in the padding on the left, always on the left, not on the right. 200 on the left, right? So doing so, you get this behavior. You get this behavior. So when you click, you edit the field, right? And you have the date. Of course, the copy works and the paste as well. Because when you click here, you don't see it, but the date is selected. So you can copy and paste, right? So you don't lose any features. You can clear, right? So here, of course, you can clear, you can set, right? So you have all the features that a natural FileMaker. Then we have two fields. One field, one field. They're all the same. They're the same field. All three fields, okay? The one to edit is date invoice. The one to edit, date invoice. The one on top here is date invoice. And the one here is date invoice. So you have two blocks here, one block, two block, right? So you design here. So you have two blocks, right? Together. And then you go there and you say, they are dates. The first, you want only the date. You want only the number of the day, okay? So you do a custom, and the block on top, you want only this, the number of the day. The block below, you want the month, the space, and the year, right? So using two blocks like this, right? You get something like this. So easy, no calcs, no formatting, nothing. It's just 3 times the same field, one to edit and two together, separate in two. One you show the number, the other one you show you saw the month, and the year. So you don't lose anything. You don't need a calc. You just use FileMaker data formatting. That's all, right? So I know people will complain, say, yeah, but I want my date like traditional. Okay, no problem. You want the date traditional, you get it. Haha, right? You click there. So you click normally, you have this. You click with Alt, you have this. You click with Alt, you have this. Click with Alt, you have this. Right? So you can, and you still have the calendar. So you can have this, or you can have this. It's up to you. Okay. So how I'm doing this, So it's very simple. You have popovers, but they're not popovers. I mean, they are popovers, but they don't look like popovers, right? The popover is here, so that's the technique already exposed. But you have this here, like this. You have this is a popover, right? And you call it with a script, right? But this, I'm going to explain that another time, another day. But I want to show you that you can have the regular dates, right? This is inside FMSP, by the way. My version of FMSP, you have it. So you can discover how I'm doing it. Okay? But that's cool, because that gives you all the things. And it's not that complicated to do, especially that you can replicate. What I'm doing is simple. What I'm doing is I'm copy this, I go to another layout, I paste, I remap the field, and that's it. It's very simple. Okay. So other thing that's I want to show you that is when you have complex layouts, right? You want to make sure that you have portals very light. Okay. So here, for example, we have two types of portal. We have portal where you can edit data. You can enter data, right? And you have portal. No, here. You have portal like this, right? Where you don't edits. You just click. You're not going to edits, right? Or you have portals where you can edit here only, right? Here not, here, not, here, okay? So let's explore that a little, right? So we have, this is a portal, and you can see I don't have any labels. I don't. But I have some. I mean, I have some labels, right? But sometimes I don't, you know, like here. But here I have labels, but they don't look like labels. But sometimes you do labels, you do a labeling a little bit different, right? So the first thing you need to know about a portal is that you need to make the thing comfortable, okay? So this type of portal are comfortable to read because you can read and you have all the information you want without to be cumbersome, okay? So let's see how it was before. Yeah. See, so you have all of those things like a regular row, right? You have internal notes, the date paid, amount, total, status. Okay. So here, right, we have the same amount of we have the same features, the same data showing there, right? And we have the dates first, right? Because it's the most important. And then here we have kind of a special treatment here, right? So we have the invoice number and we have Nick Hunter. So now you understand why we don't need the, you know, when I say by Nick Hunter, you understand what it is that means that created by, okay? The invoice number here. So here I have two rows, right? I have two information in two rows. So you understand why I cannot have a label on top like a column, because you don't want to be like table view always, okay? Always like table view. This is a table view, right? Okay, so you don't want that because you know, here, right? I don't have the same width that I have before, okay? So the technique here is to group together things, right? And to label them in a way that they are understanding and understandable, okay? Here I have one row, and here the same. I have two rows, total and due. So you understand what's going on here. You don't need to say invoice total. I know I'm in invoice, right? I'm in the invoice. Here I could have, here personally, I could have get rid of this. I could have to get rid of this. Because it's understandable, okay? We have the invoice and we don't even know, we don't even need that, you know? So you see, it's we don't even need that. So just this, like this, okay? Just this, like this. That's it. Number in, because we already have in here, okay? That because of the numbering of FM starting point. But here you understand how it's going, okay? So we have multiple rows here. So we have like this, simple, right? We have like this, right? And we have like this. So now, and we have also like this. So this, I want to come a little bit here in this one, okay? But first, first, I want this one first. So here is the estimate one. So how it was before, it was like this, okay? So you have this checkbox here, right? And you have the button here, the total. Okay, that's how it was before. This is how it is now, okay? So we have a lot of things, right? So here, I have a checkbox that invoiced. Here, I have the same checkbox that invoice, but I have the green check mark inside the button make invoice. So obviously, this is not going to send an email, right? Because it's not going to delete something. This is, we understand what it is. You know, when you have a checkbox, like a check mark saying on top of the make invoice, you say, okay, that means it's already done. But we want to give you the opportunity to get to create another invoice if you want, right? From the same. So that's why the button here stays in place, okay? So this is how you do this. First of all, the button here, make invoice, okay? Now I can make it nice and pretty, okay? And because I am, this icon here is the icon, invoice icon throughout all the solution, right? So I understand this is invoice. You see, you have a kind of after 10 minutes of navigation inside the file, you make the point here, you connect the dots, right? So let's go there. Let's go here. Let's let's sign a project and let's assign a staff, and let's make something here. And quantity 100. Okay. So let's do something like this. Okay. So let's go back to the contact. That was the contact. Yeah. So now I have this estimate here, right? And I want to make an invoice. So I'm making an invoice. So now I have my invoice here, right? So you can go back to contact. Now it's green, right? So that's it. So that's the treatment you make when you have a portal, but you don't have like the total width of the layouts, right? So that is when you have kind of an advanced layout, advanced portal, but you don't want to go to the table view, right? Like I said, because this is a table view, right? But this, it's easy to build, but you see, the date is not that easy to read, like it is here, right? Here is much more easier. The names, so the visibility here is better than the other, even though I have more stuff and I'm showing things differently. Okay. So see here, I have all the red like this, right? So we know the red is due, right? So now let's look at this. So this is interesting because I have a lot of things there, right? So let's go there. So it was already like this. Okay, it was like this, but quite not the same, right? So here I have the progression, right? I have a color. If I change this become here, right? I have a different color here. And so this, I have the dates, start date, end date, and the days. So you see how it is presented. It's all look like its own widget stuff, right? Doesn't look like a raw, right? Like an Excel spreadsheet like this, right? But it's, it was already better that it was before, but it's not the same not the same, quality, let's say. And here, right? So this, you can click and terminate it, right? You click, see? So that's why we have this here. Okay, so when you click, you complete it, okay? Here, so you have multiple interaction. And here, you can click and you have this popover, and you can do this, Why the attention is, why a bug here? So you have this. So, but it's obvious. I'm showing obviously the difference of behavior. How I'm doing this? Here, I have the arrow. Here, I have the finger. Okay. So this is how you use smartly this. So here, I'm saying change cursor to the hand, right? Here for this button, that the button on the bottom, and here I have a popover. So it will stop. It will stop the hand. It will remove the hand. And here, I don't click change cursor to hand. This is the button, but I said I don't do that because here now I have a visual understanding. This is arrow. Here, the hand. Here, the arrow. Here, the hand, right? So you can make a clear vision, and you have this hover state that says, okay, I'm going to click on this, right? Right. So this is how you do this. This is how, when you have a row that have multiple action possible in the same row, right? You need to use that trick. You need to make sure that there's no way of misunderstanding by the user. Okay. So of course, okay, using the what's the name? Using the conditional formatting is great because you give information with the colors, and here you have something, you have the follow-up medium. We know the medium what is. When you change if I go there and I change to where we change the medium here, so we say high, continue. So now it's high. Okay. So here you can see category. So here I don't have a category, and here I have. So to prevent something to be blank, right? This can be blank. So I'm using a field with a placeholder. So, okay, so, but normally I'm not doing this, okay? I'm doing something like this. I don't say category, I say undefined, okay? So, because I don't care to know if it's category, because you put the name of the field when you want to edit the field. But here I don't want to edit the field. I just want to, it's undefined. If I put something here in the category, right? Now I'm something, right? So, but you use, in order to make sure that you don't have something blank, because you don't want something that looks like this when it's empty, right? When it's empty, to be blank like this. You don't want this, okay? What you want to use all the features of FileMaker. So you put a field here, and then on the placeholder, you said what you want to be if it's empty. So it can be untitled, it can be undefined, it can be, whatever, okay? So unknown, whatever you want. Some of them can be empty, like the category can be empty and the project can be empty. But here, those two cannot be empty. They always have something. So I don't care about, I'm using merge field instead. You know, I already explained why I like merge field in Portal than field. So I'm not going to get that back there, but it's a habit that I have, even though, because I saw that it works better. I have much less problem with this, especially when, even though you click this, the browse, you unclick it, there's a way to get there sometime, depending on you can have scripts that do weird things and land in one of those fields, and you don't want that.
We actually do have multiple questions, so let's read the first one. Before, Nick was using for a date field with let function text size text. Is it better to separate?
Yes, so that's why, so that's a good question. Before, I was making a crazy calculation to get the dates, right? I was trying to make this as a calc. And then one day I said, why I'm doing this, why I'm doing something that complicated, right? So yeah, that's easier because you can manipulate this. You can make it smaller, bigger, like this one. This one is smaller. This is a smallest version of the same date. It's a little bit more, it's less tall, right? So yeah, it's a better way to do it. It's much faster, and you don't have calcs. So you eliminate the calc, you eliminate the field, which is great. Okay, next question.
Yes. Get modifier keystroke ?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you mean by the? Yeah, I want. I will have another webinar for that, but I'm going to explain how to do that. So, so when you go to the invoice here, so here I have a button. The button says, okay. So it's it says go to the objects. So you go to the. If I don't have the get active modifier key, Alt pressed. If I don't have this pressed, I'm going there, right? So I'm going there. So go to objects and the field. That's it. If I have the modifier pressed, then you go to the popover, right? And then you go to the field, which is that's a bug. Normally it should go to the field, but this version here is not the final. So you should have go to the object. So I have a problem with the object name, but it's okay. So I should go to the objects field estimate. So maybe the script here have a problem. So yeah, so the active modifier is the what you need here. Oh yeah, because I copy paste from okay. So now it will work. I copy paste from invoice from estimate. Oh, I'm in invoice. So I did it's okay. It's okay. So you do that. You do this, right? So you click, when you click, you do this and ready to be edited. Okay. So yeah, active modifier. Do we have another?
We do. How do you select just 3 fields, date, invoice, you need, and not select the other objects around it?
How you?
I think, how do you select the 3 fields that you need and not select the other objects around it?
When in browse mode, when in layout mode like this?
Yeah.
How I'm doing this? So that the question? How I'm doing this, or how? Can you ask the confirmation?
Yeah, Dymox says yes.
Okay. FileMaker has 2 behavior of selection. Just clicking and dragging, you select everything the mouse touch touch, 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 touch. Okay, that is one behavior. Now I press commands. Okay, it should be control on PC. PC people, please confirm. Mac is the command key. The command key. This one. So on PC should be control. I think it should be control on PC. Mac, we have the command key. Okay. So the command key, if you press the command key and you do this, is not selecting anything. It's going to select only what is totally embraced by the marquee. This is a marquee. This the black stuff that I'm doing like this. This is the marquee. So everything that is embraced by the marquee will be selected. Only what is embraced, right? If I don't press a command or controller, everything touch. Before FileMaker 12, so from FileMaker 1 to FileMaker 11, the standard behavior of FileMaker was this. There was what is totally embraced. And then on 12, they changed the behavior, but they gave you back the possibility to get back to the old behavior with the command key. I'm using that a lot, right? But sometimes when you have something that bothers you in the middle, just hide it, right? And then you don't have it anymore. Hide what you don't need. Let's say I don't want this, hide it, Let's say you said, oh, all of those, hide this, So it's not in the middle anymore. So you in peace, you're at peace in mind, and you can just, manipulate the object without the thing, and the thing underneath, boom, you can show up back later, right? So that I'm doing that a lot. I'm doing this and say, okay, I don't want to hide me this, right? And then now I can, or hide me this, hide this, hide what you want to hide, and then you can work on your layout with simplicity, right? So like before, those, for example, say, okay, I don't want those buttons in the middle. Okay, so you hide it. I don't want the fields on top. You hide it, and now you say, oh, I can work on this, right? So you need to use the object tree here. You need to know how to use it, because really, really can make the difference. Any other question?
Nope. Daimak was, wow, cool. Thank you very much. You solved my question.
Okay, cool.
I think we are good otherwise.
Yeah, okay. So the portal is very important because, we tend to make portal very complicated. We tend to make portal way too complicated and not comfortable to read. I'm the first saying that, like the list views, right? This morning I was talking to Calvin, and Calvin and I, it's one of another RCC engineer, and he showed me his layout, and pretty much it's a replication, perfect replication of what what I'm showing, right? But we have tendency sometimes, and of doing things like this, right? So let's get rid of this, and we have the tendency of doing things like this. Right? It's way too clumsy, way too clumsy. Right? So if you don't have the requirement of making things small, right? You need to give yourself some briefing, right? So I don't know if I have another list view a little bit more complex than this one. Otherwise, I'm going to another. No, I don't have, because but I can go to another file, show you. Okay, anyway, so I think we understand this here. And the list view here. So something I've learned, I updated in, is this here. So to put on the side here, to put the status with the color. So that helps a lot. It's much more understandable than this. Right? First of all, we can read it. There's no problem with this. But it's not intrusive, and it frees you one field. So you have one field less in your layout. So what I have learned, it's to use the same technique like this, right, in product as well. So for example, when you here, I can get rid of this. Can you imagine? Boom, go away. Okay, how? Just doing like this. So let me copy. So let me go. Let me go to list. Let me copy this one. Go back. Okay. So how to get rid of this? How to get rid of this? And paste this. I copy this. So this is 13. I double click, I paste, right? And I change this. So yes, this field here is rotated. You can rotate fields with this here, rotate. Okay. So it's rotate clockwise, rotate, 45 degree, 45 degree, 45 degree, like this. So you can reverse a field completely if you want. See? Or you can do this like this, right? But you pick the direction you want, right? So I want that direction. Okay. So now that I don't need anymore, right? So what am I going to do with this? Okay, so I go there, right? So what is, that project? So, okay, I have a better example. I have a better way to do that. Because I want to, for example, I have in project list, I have this. Is already done, the conditional formatting is already done with the colors. But you can see I'm not saying formula status equal equal active. I'm not doing this. I'm doing the self. That means whatever the text inside that block, the conditional formatting will read what inside self means. The value is equal to active, cancel. So why the beauty of this? Because I've built it for projects. I copy this. I go back to my contacts. I go to my project and I paste this here. So what is the 8 of this? 47. I'm putting that 47 here. I'm going there and I'm saying, I want this. So I want the corner. See those corners here? Rounded. I'm putting that here. So, oops. Right? and I'm putting the border on top of it because I want the border to, so I want the gray border to embrace this. And then now I have all the space here for me to do whatever I want with it. So then I can make that a little bit, it's better. And I can move see, for example, I have this object on top of this too. So I cannot go, right? I cannot go through this. So I hide it, and now I can go do this, and I can do this. So this will be 17. 17, yeah. So now I have, and it works immediately. The thing, yeah, I need to point this. Hold on. I need to point this to the right field, right? So I'm going to the T15O, T15O, 15O. Where is it? I can find. Oh, and status. And this is 13. Always, so this is the advantage of using standard, always the same dimension, 47.8, 13 width. So you know that. So if you use always the same width, the same 8, the same, so you know by heart, right? And then so now, look this, unrelated table, why? T15, T05, sorry. And nobody told me. You should have shot. Okay, T6, no, T05, that's why I didn't find it. T050 status, okay, 13. Okay, and it works. I didn't have to do anything. The yellow comes, the green comes, because it's based on the value. It's not based on it's based on the text in the object, not based on the value of the fields. You understand? So that is a good way to make conditional formatting super fast, because I'm not going to any calculation, right? And I can copy paste, it works. It was done on the list view. I just changed it, and doing so, it looks great, and I freed myself one field. So that's what I've learned to do. At the beginning, I was using it always, only this, and then I use it here, right? I use it here. So if you go to the project, I've used it here too. So it is the same field with the same calculation here, right? Here in the list view, right? Or here in this portal. So now, if we don't have any question, I'm going to follow up.
Nope, you're good.
Okay. So you see, it's kind of cool to have this, because now I got something that I didn't get before. I get the color, and before I didn't, right? So you see, this makes portal more attractive, more, cooler. You have more things, right? I want now to show you something else, something cool. And you notice something. I go to another layout. Here I am on invoice, in project. I go back. I go back to contact. I'm in project here. I go back to project. I'm in invoice. If I change, I go estimate, I go project, boom, I land on estimate. More than this, I go layout mode, I go back browse mode, and I land estimate. So I'm doing this because the natural behavior is not this at all. The natural behavior is if you leave, look, the natural behavior is this. Here, no. This is natural behavior. I'm there. I go invoice, I go back project, and boom. It says estimate, but it shows me notes. That's the natural behavior. And we don't want the natural behavior. Okay, we don't want it. So the 1382. Okay. So in all the development, all my development, all of them, okay, I have trigger. So if I go there, 1382. So I have a naming convention for my stuff, but I have an on record load, on record commit, on layout keystroke, on layout and mode enter, on panel switch. Right. I have those for all the layouts, the main layout, I mean, all of them. I have this for project, I have this for invoices, you know, I have the same, you know, keystroke, panel switch, record load, record commit, on layout enter, you know, always. So why? You know, because I need it, you know, but the most important is this one. Remember, yesterday we learned about the on panel switch stuff that give me a variable, a global variable. Okay, so when I enter layout, I want to go to the object slide and whatever number of that variable. So when I do this, let's say I'm here, the $projects slide says I'm in 2. If I go away and I come back, I have a on layout enter trigger that says go. So here I'm there. Say go to the object, boom. Right? That's it. Go to the object back where it was. So I have there in every. So you understand the technique I use to navigate here give me the opportunity to reuse, to hijack this for my navigation, right? And this is a great way of always land where you are. So why my script is named on layout / mode enter? Because when I go to layout mode and when I go back to browse mode, I have a mode enter. That's considered as a mode enter. So when you do this, you land here in notes. I want to land here, even though, so with 2 things, the mode enter and the layout enter, right? There are 2 things. So the mode enter is not the same script, right? That's the same script. I am never ever put nothing else than navigational things on my script on layout enter. So now I'm going to show you why I'm using that naming convention on layout. On layout. Okay, they're all there. So I have on layout keystroke, on layout, but I have on layout slash mode enter, right? So on own account, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing nothing. Sometimes, doing two things because I have two. I have the accordion, on estimates, right? So if I go estimate, I have two things that I want to remember. I want to remember the accordion here, right? And I want to remember, I have another one. Oh yeah, but that is because, yeah, okay, that's another story because I had another layout. But anyway, so I'm not doing anything crazy. Even when I have crazy thing here like this, layout slash, I'm not doing crazy thing. I'm doing thing like this, right? Just navigation, just straightforward. Sometime I might generate, a global variable or something like this, but I don't do go to layout, search, sort, export, delete. I'm not doing those things on layout enter. No, you want something like boom, right? The same for my record, on record load, doing very small things, nothing crazy, right? On commits, you don't care. You can do whatever you want, right? On commits. But, it's a way to do. So before we go, the car style window, I'm not going to talk about that too much, but I'm going to explain because of the complex layout, right? That was a. So you understand. So with this webinar, I try to tell you, right? Show you that you can have a lot of things on your layout, and the way you position is all the keys there. The way you are positioning your stuff, the way you are using the real estate, and the way you are putting together, right, can help many things, right? But you need to keep constants. You need to keep a consistency. For example, here, okay, invoice, I have dates, okay. Estimate, I have dates and shipping, right? So I'm positioning my stuff at the same place, right? The same place. Always this in first. You need to have consistency in your layouts. Like this looks always the same. Here is always positioning the same. This is always positioning the same. And you need to keep a consistency because then your user, if they know to use one layout, they know to use all of them. So here I want to show you something cool. So that is what it was before. If I go to the estimates, the C1, this. Why I don't have the add button here? What happened to the button? Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, so this search box in a portal, product or service, a radio button, right? And like this, with a portal in a popover, like this. And that's a portal in a popover. That was before, it was the prehistory of FileMaker. This is how it works today. The same add a line button here, but this, right? Product, service, and both. I don't know why it's this doesn't work, but it's okay. It must not be defined as. But you have a search box here. You have a sort. Right? You have a sort capability. And I don't know why this is not working, but it's okay. And of course, you can create an object from here, right? So let's say it's iPhone 14. Bum, 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 bum. Oh. Serial number, AS slash category, office furniture, keywords, iPhone, Apple, photo, validate, boom, is there, and it's selected. So this is how, so this is when you get something better, right? It makes all the difference. So let's see how it was before. Here, iPhone, boom. Here, this one, boom. Here, this one, boom. How it works now. Add a line, this, and this. Show me, right? Only the selection. Clear the selection. Show all, right? See the difference? So I always show that many times. So 7 products selected. Add selected product, boom. Okay, so when you have complex layouts and you have complex interaction, you need to give yourself all what you need to get the great experience. So that will be the card style window. Card style window is the next one, right? March?
Yes, card style window is the next set of 3 days stuff. So
yeah, so that will be great because you see the card style window, that card style window, that card style window. There's a lot of good stuff with the card style window, and I'm going to show you how to use card style window in a way you never saw that. That would be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be great. Thank you very much, Nick, for coming and doing this again. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you next Tuesday, I believe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Good weekend.
Have a good weekend. I'll see everyone tomorrow, so you know.
Yeah, you.
It's not. Yeah, but we'll see you.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.